Hello students, welcome to Study Live. So today we are going to understand perpendicular axis theorem. See, for this, let us consider a plane lamina. What do you understand by plane lamina? It is an irregular shaped body. Okay, so let us consider one irregular shaped body, right? Now, for this irregular shaped body, we are going to rotate about different axes. Okay, that is, all the three axes should be what? Perpendicular axis. So let us talk about one axis. Let me say that consider this as x-axis, this is y-axis. These two are mutually perpendicular, and one more axis, that is a third axis, that is perpendicular to plane lamina. Okay, I cannot show you diagrammatically like this, so we can just show in this manner, right? Okay, now when you rotate the body about one axis, its moment of inertia will be Ix. You know the concept of moment of inertia, right? And this part will be Iy, that is moment of inertia about y-axis. And when you rotate about z-axis, which is perpendicular to the plane, will be Iz. Then this theorem says that Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. This theorem is perpendicular axis theorem. So for this, you need to remember this statement. Okay. Now, how to remember the statement, students? For this, we can say that moment of inertia about an axis, we will not mention z-axis, but you should know the meaning of z-axis. Which is z-axis here, which is perpendicular to the plane lamina. So, the moment of inertia about an axis which is perpendicular to the plane lamina. Let me just mention here, this is the plane lamina. This word you can see somewhere, or it is simple body we can say. Okay. So, the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to plane lamina is equal to sum of moment of inertia about two mutually perpendicular axes, right? And the condition is all the three axes should meet at one point, or we can say concurrent point. Okay. So, this is the complete statement. You can just look at this part statement here. So, perpendicular axis theorem, the moment of inertia of a body about an axis perpendicular to its plane is the sum of its moment of inertia about two mutually perpendicular axes and all the three axes being concurrent, meaning meeting at a point. So, this is the statement, student, which carries 1 mark. You have to remember this part. And now we are going to solve the proof derivation for this. Okay, let us do the derivation of it. So, derivation we are going to do for perpendicular axis theorem. Already we have learned about the statement, and what was the statement according to that, students? It was Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Correct? Here xy is the mutually perpendicular axis and z axis is the perpendicular to plane lamina. Okay. As you can see in the diagram, we have considered a particle. So, the particle P, if you take it, its mass is delta m, which is a very small mass. Okay. Now, this small mass, and of course, this is the perpendicular distance about y-axis, and MP is the perpendicular distance about x-axis, and of course OP is the perpendicular distance about z-axis, right? So, this is all construction we have done, right, student? Now, let us start with the derivation. Before starting with the derivation, you should know the definition of moment of inertia. Do you remember the definition? What was that? It is the sum of product of mass of the body and square of perpendicular distance between particle and axis of rotation. Here 3 axes is there, so 3 moment of inertia. Okay, so let us write first one. Say Ix, that meaning moment of inertia about x axis. Okay. Now for x-axis, I said it is a sum of which we represent by integration. The sum of product of mass, that is delta m, and square of distance. Square of distance, what is given here is y-axis, so it will be y square. Okay. So let me just remove this part. So it is delta m y square, that is product of mass and square of the distance between particle and axis. Similarly, we can write for I y. I y will be again product of mass and perpendicular distance. What is the perpendicular distance? X. So it will be what? X square. Similarly for I z, delta m, what is the perpendicular distance for z axis, students? It is OP square. Okay. So this is all definition we have written. Let us mark this as equation number 1. Okay. Now after getting the definitions, what we have to do now, look into the diagram. We have drawn here right angle diagram, right angle triangle we have drawn. So let us see two right angle triangles we have. Okay. Now in this case OPM, let us consider one right angle triangle. So if you take right angle triangle, student, here, so it will be from triangle OPM. We have to apply Pythagoras theorem. What is the Pythagoras theorem here? So it will be what? Now this is the perpendicular distance. Okay. So here in this case OP is hypotenuse. So OP square is equal to OM square plus MP square. So let me just write this part. OP square is equal to OM square, right, plus MP square. Yes. Now in this case, what is OM square? OM is what? Parallel to this part, right? And parallel to this part. And what about MP? MP is equivalent to, here I think naming is not done, it is N. So ON square, right, student? Now in this case, let me just first do the marking of it. OP square, let me write it as it is. OM square is same as what? X. So I can write X square plus MP square is Y. So it is Y square. Okay. Now what is missing for moment of inertia is mass is missing here. So we are going to multiply throughout by mass. So I am going to write here OP square multiplied by mass. Okay. X square multiply by mass plus y square into delta m, because we are going to multiply both the sides. Now after this we are going to integrate it. So after integrating, what are we going to get, students? After integrating we get OP square delta m is equal to integration of x square delta m plus integration of y square delta m, right? Now, as you can see from equation 1, this is all the definitions, right? This is the definition of which one, student, here? Iz. So, I will write here Iz is equal to, this is the definition of here Iy plus Ix, which is the proof of perpendicular axis theorem. Have you all understood? Now, in this case, very small part what you have to remember is right angle triangle and apply Pythagoras theorem, and of course definition of moment of inertia. So today we are going to learn about parallel axis theorem. As the name suggests parallel, you can understand very well that two axes must be parallel in this case. Okay, let's just talk about the same thing. We will take a rotating body. Okay, so let us see that this is a rotating body, not necessary to be of a particular shape, it can be of any shape. Okay, so it is rotating at different axes. So first let me say that this is the C point. C point is nothing but what? Center of mass. So the body is rotating about an axis passing through center of mass. So let me just draw this part as, this is the axis, okay, about this it is rotating. When the body is rotating, of course it is not going to be like this, it has to be in this manner, right, student? So we are going to write this as IC. What do you mean by IC here? That is a moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass. Okay. Now, if I take any other point say O, okay, and if the body is rotating about that axis, of course, I am going to draw it like this only, the same point. Say this part as I, O, about this axis, okay. Then, as you can see here, these two axes are what? Parallel to each other. That is why the name is parallel axis theorem. And the distance between the two axes is h. Okay. Then, our theorem says that I, O, that is moment of inertia about any axis passing through point, any point or point O, that is IC plus mh square. Now, what is m? M is the mass of the body, h is the distance between two parallel axes. Okay. So, this is the theorem. As we can just statement, we can show it here. That is the moment of inertia about an axis passing through any point is equal to sum of moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass and product of mass of the body and square of distance between them. Right, student? So, you can see the statement here. This statement you have to write it for getting 1 mark. Okay. So, initially statement is very important. I hope you have understood this part. Now, let us continue with the derivation. That is a proof of this statement. Okay. Now, look at this diagram I have drawn here. As I told you, C is the center of mass, O is any point, and the two axes are passing through center of mass and O. And the distance between two parallel axes is h, right? Now we have to do the derivation, right? And what is the proof, students? Do you remember? What we have to prove here is IO is equal to IC plus mh square, right? So this is what the derivation I have to do. Let us continue with it. Now, as you can see, IO is nothing but what? Moment of inertia, and for moment of inertia, two things are very important. One is mass and distance, perpendicular distance between mass and axis of rotation. So, let us consider first a small particle here. Okay. Now, let me say that this is the small particle P of mass delta m. That is a small mass we have considered. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to draw a perpendicular distance. Can you imagine, students, this is a part and this is the perpendicular distance. So, this is the axis. So, any distance will be always perpendicular, which we draw it here. So, I am going to draw it like this. So, I get PC, perpendicular distance from IC, right, that axis, and one more, that is OP we are going to draw. Okay. And one more construction we are going to do here, that is draw perpendicular from C to this part. Let me mark this as D. It is perpendicular 90. Okay. So, is this diagram clear to you? Why we have taken here particle? Because for moment of inertia, in that definition we require it. Okay. Now, to prove this, first step what we are going to do is we are going to write the definition of IO. So, IO, students, that is moment of inertia definition, sum of product of mass and square of perpendicular distance. Now, square of perpendicular distance for IO from here to here, this part, that is OP. So, I am going to write here OP square, right? Same way, I'm going to mention about IC, that is moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass, will be sum of product of mass and perpendicular distance between particle and axis. So, particle and axis distance is PC. So, this is PC square. Clear? So, this is by definition, students. We can write by definition of moment of inertia. Okay. Again, for this square, where do we get? Pythagoras theorem. So, I am going to consider right angle triangle. There are two right angle triangle, that is OPD and CPD. So, which one should we take, students? because we require OP also. So, I am going to consider which triangle? OPD. So, I am going to take here triangle OPD. Let us apply Pythagoras theorem. So, that will be OP square is equal to OD square, right? Plus PD square, as you can see from the diagram. Now, here OD square is what? OC plus CD, right? Whole square plus PD square. Correct? Now, we are going to open this bracket. Which formula we are going to use here? A plus B whole square. So, it will be, let me just write left hand side, OC square plus 2AB, that means OC into CD, plus B square, meaning CD square, plus PD square. Okay, now look at this part. See, CD square plus PD square will give you what? PC square, because a small right angle triangle. So, I am going to mention here, student. So, it will be OP square is equal to OC square plus 2OC CD plus what I told you here, PC square. Right. So, I got square of the distances. Now, what is missing according to this definition? Delta M. So, what are we going to do? Multiply whole equation by mass, that is delta M. So, what I will get here? OP square delta M is equal to, now OC, as you can see the diagram, it is H. I will write here H square delta M plus 2H CD delta M plus, what about, okay, and PC square delta M, because directly PC only we are going to mention here. And the last part is integrating. So, we are going to integrate everything. Let me just put here integration, student, integrating a complete equation. Now, after integrating, you can just compare it. Okay. So, the important point is, that is integral CD delta M is 0. Why? Because this part is, we call it as moments. Okay. Sum of moments from center of mass, because CD is what? Distance from center of mass is always 0 for body at equilibrium. Okay. So, this point you have to remember. So, we can just write here, reason for this is sum of moments from center of mass is always 0. Okay, always 0. Remember this part for equilibrium body. Okay, so this part is there. So, let me just highlight this so that you can remember. This is the point you have to remember, because this reason, if you don't write, you will not get marks. Marks will be deducted for that. Okay, let us proceed now from this. So, finally, what do we get after this? What is this part? OP square delta M is nothing but what? IO. So, I am going to write here IO is equal to, what about this part? H square, I can take it outside. So, what is left is integration delta M, correct? This part, I can take it as 0, right? I have given the reason here. What about this part? Look at here. This is IC. Okay, students. Now, finally, I get here IO. I'll just rearrange it. IC plus. Now, what is integration of delta M? It is the total mass. So, I'm going to write here total mass of the body and H square, right? Which is the proof of parallel axis theorem. Right, student? So, this is what the derivation we have done. I hope you have understood the complete derivation. As you can see the question, radius of gyration of a body about an axis of distance, it is given as 0.12 meter. That means, what is this value given as? H, because it is from center of mass, and you know that H is represented between, if you remember the diagrammatically, that is O and C. The distance between them is h. Okay, the h value is given as 0.12 meter, and then it is given 0.13. What is that 0.13, students? It is the radius of gyration about any axis. Any axis is nothing but what? O. So I can mention radius of gyration denoted by K at O will be 0.13 meter. This is what the data is given to you. What you have to find out is find radius of gyration about a parallel axis. Okay, that means this part. These are the parallel axis, right, student? So parallel axis passing through center. That means I have to find out K suffix C. This is what the data given here. Okay. Now to apply this, of course, this is which type? Parallel axis theorem. We have to apply that part. So what parallel axis theorem says? It says that IO is equal to IC plus MH square. Right? But I is the moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration. What is the formula, student? MKO square is equal to MKC square plus MH square. Now M is common, so we can cancel that. So what is the formula finally? You can remember this formula. If you remember, well and good, because one step you can save here. Okay. Now we just substitute the values. So KO value is given as 0.13 square, right? And KC we have to find out, plus H is 0.12 square. We have to just find out the value, students. So KC square is equal to 0.13 square minus 0.12 square. Okay. So after this we can just substitute the value, get the answer. So 0.13, you can apply this formula also, a square minus b square. What do you remember? A minus b, a plus b. With that also you can do, but here it is very easy to remember square of the values. So it is 0.0. 13 square is 169, right? Minus 12 square is 144. So it is 0.0144. Just subtract the value. So finally we get the answer as KC square is equal to KC square is equal to, this you subtract, so you will get it as 0.025. Sorry, one more 0 will be there. So KC is equal to 0.05 meter. Okay. In centimeter, if you write it as, it will be what? 5 centimeter. So this is the radius of gyration, okay, from center of mass. So this is the answer. So what you have to remember, only the formula is very important. No need to write all the 3 steps, but I have shown you so that directly you can remember this particular formula. Okay, student? Yes. I hope you have understood this sum. Let us continue with the next more sums. Okay, stay with Study Live. Thank you.